Many solemn nights, blonde moon, we stand and marvel, sleeping our noons away. Matsunaga Teitoku. As primeval man watched the moon in the night sky, it became an object of curiosity. In legend, he tells the story of an old man who, while digging, discovered a small shining object. As he held it in his hand, it grew and grew until it finally escaped into the sky and became the moon. This is the moon, the same moon that saw life begin on Earth millions of years ago. The moon has a secret. Written in its rocks is the story of a spectacular past. Where did it come from? What role has it played in the story of life? For generations we have looked up and wondered. Only now is the truth being revealed. Forget what you know. It's time to see the moon in a new light. The secret history. Moon rocks are like pages from an ancient history book. 50 years ago, rock samples from Apollo gave us our first glimpse at the moon's epic history. Stones from across the night. By making ourselves very small, perhaps we will see what these rocks have seen and remember back those billions of years. For decades now, geochemists have been measuring lunar samples and Earth samples, and found that the chemical signatures of the two are identical in a very special way. The elemental isotopes of the two bodies are identical. We also found that volatile elements have been somehow vaporized away. These clues seem to suggest that Earth and Moon share a common origin, a violent one. What story best fits the evidence? Many ideas have been proposed, but one theory has reigned supreme for decades: the giant impact hypothesis. 4.5 billion years ago, our solar system was a crowded place. As many as 20 rocky protoplanets circled the Sun, each competing for dominance. As these protoplanets collided and fused, larger planets took shape, among them the moonless Earth. 80 million years after it had formed, Earth had one final tremendous blow in waiting. Enter Theia, a smaller rival planet on a fateful collision course. To any observer on Earth, the sight would have been terrifying. Upon impact, Theia was completely obliterated, ripping off Earth's outer layers and leaving it a molten ball. Earth became engulfed by a thick atmosphere of vaporized rock. Over the span of approximately 100 years, the orbiting disk of debris cooled and condensed into a young molten moon. The theory can explain so many things about the moon, but it has a huge flaw. It predicts that the moon is mostly made from the Mars-sized planet, that the Earth and the moon are made from different materials. But that's not what we see. The Earth and the moon are actually like identical twins. The genetic code of planets is written on the isotopes of the elements. The Earth and moon have identical isotopes. That means that the Earth and moon are made from the same materials. Could the long-reigning theory be wrong? To reconcile the evidence, scientists have proposed some mind-blowing ideas. Georeactor hypothesis. Early in Earth's history, radioactive elements like uranium would have been much more abundant in its interior. These elements could have become concentrated under Earth's surface due to centrifugal force. The result, a massive underground nuclear explosion. Under this theory, material ejected from this explosion slowly coalesced into the moon we know today. This would easily explain the similarities between Earth and Moon. However dramatic, the theory has its own complications. Some doubt that uranium could have been concentrated enough to produce such a powerful eruption. Perhaps we need to change our perspective. What do you do when faced with the unknown? Question everything. After re-examining the giant impact idea, a fascinating new theory is beginning to emerge. The giant impact was making something completely new. In this new theory, Earth was hit so hard that it was completely pulverized into a torus of liquid rock. The energy from the impact vaporizes the surface, the water, the atmosphere, and mixes all of the gases together just in few hours. The Earth would have been like Jupiter. There's nothing to stand on. A synestia gives us a new way to solve the problem of the origin of the Moon. The Moon grew from magma rain that condensed out of the rock vapor. The Moon could have orbited inside the synestia for years, hidden from view. Revealed by the synestia cooling and shrinking, the Moon formed inside its orbit. The synestia transformed into Earth only after cooling for hundreds of years longer. The Moon's special connection to Earth exists because it was born within the Earth itself, when Earth was a synestia. Throughout the universe, synestias have formed and faded. Only now have we begun to imagine them, to recognize their existence. The synestia theory remains unproven, but it brings us closer than ever to unlocking the secret of the Moon's origin. The Moon holds its secrets close. What else could it be hiding? What am I missing? What is hidden from my view by my own assumptions? On its journey to becoming the barren rock we know today, the Moon may have once held liquid water and even life. Twice in its history, lunar volcanism released massive amounts of water vapor from the Moon's interior, creating a temporary atmosphere. These events, occurring between 4 and 3.5 billion years ago, could have led to surface water. Imagine swimming in a pool of moon water, looking up at early Earth as life evolved. In theory, microorganisms from Earth could have arrived via asteroid impacts, settling in these lunar waters. But if life ever existed on the Moon, it did not last. Over time, any surface water would have dried up, and almost all of its atmosphere was lost to space. Yet the Moon would leave its mark on life in a different, more profound way. It may even be the reason we exist at all. As Earth evolved, the Moon's gravity stabilized its tilt, protecting life from extreme swings in climate. Life on Earth would be very different, perhaps non-existent, without our Moon. To know its history is to know our own. Our roots are intertwined. We have learned much, but mysteries remain. To uncover the full story, we must go back. More pages of the Moon's history are waiting for us. Whether we return or not is up to us. It will be waiting for us, as it always has.